Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I'm Tehreem and I'm your science teacher. Previously we have started unit number 3, that is reproduction in plants, in which we have discussed about pollination and different types of pollination. Today we will start our next topic, but before starting our topic, let's go to our today's moral lesson. And our today's moral lesson is God helps those who help themselves. We believe in Allah and His mercy. Allah will only help a person who is ready and determined to work hard in order to achieve his goals. He never helps those who love to sit lazy and idle. One must make labors and struggle to achieve. Only then the person will be rewarded. So first do what is on your part and then pray to Allah to let you succeed in each and every field of life. Now the unit number 3, reproduction in plants, and today we will discuss different modes of reproduction. But before discussing the different modes of reproduction, we need to know that what reproduction is. Reproduction is the production of new individuals, offsprings in living organisms. Either they are plants, animals or human beings. And now it's about the modes of reproduction in plants. And there are two modes of reproduction in plants. The one is asexual reproduction and the other is sexual reproduction. First we will discuss the asexual reproduction. Okay class, reproduction. What really reproduction is? It involves male and female sex cells. From male they are sperms and from female they are eggs, and they fuse to form new individual. But in asexual reproduction, a new individual is formed without the fusion of these sex cells. These sex cells are usually seeds. So in asexual reproduction, the new individual is formed without the fusion of male and female sex cells. In plants, usually seeds are involved, but in asexual reproduction, seeds are not involved. Asexual reproduction produces individuals that are genetically identical to the parent plants. Because only one single parent is involved in this process, there is no mixing of male and female gametes. Then there is greater number of offsprings are there produced by this process. This is mainly observed in sponges, rose, cactus, etc. Asexual reproduction allows plants to reproduce very quickly. As only one parent is involved, so there are greater number of offsprings that are produced by this method. Then there are different modes of asexual reproduction. First we will discuss the vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. It is a type of reproduction in which new plants are produced from the stems, leaves, roots and buds. In vegetative propagation, we will take the part from a plant and it helps to introduce plant in new areas where the seeds fail to produce the plants. It is more rapid, easier and cheaper. So new plants are produced by vegetative propagation and they are exactly alike the original plant. The vegetative propagation occurs in potatoes. In vegetative propagation, we use plant cuttings to reproduce plants from the existing plants. Here you can see a potato as an example of vegetative propagation. The next mode of asexual reproduction is known as cutting, the process in which stem of a plant is placed in moist soil to produce a new plant. Example, roses. I think all of you have seen that to grow the rose, usually we take a stem and then we will put it into the moist soil and then let it grow. And the plant grows after a few days and it is exactly alike the parent from where the stem is taken. Then the next mode is layering. Layering can be explained as development of roots on a stem while the stem is still attached to the parent plant. And there is also a natural way when the stem touches the ground, it produces adventitious roots. Sometimes the stem of the plant bends down and it is covered with soil and is provided with water. The stem is able enough to grow into a complete new plant. Next, we have fragmentation. In some plants, the body of the plant is divided into small fragments, which means that the body of the plant is divided into small pieces. It is very common type of asexual reproduction. Each fragment then develops into a new plant, and the most common example of this is Spirogyra. Interesting information. The process is successful for the plants which live in the windy areas. Here you can see different segments that a single plant body is divided into different fragments or different parts for fragmentation. Now next is spore formation. Spore formation is a method of asexual reproduction. It generally happens in non-flowering plants such as fungi and bacteria. The parent cell generates thousands of spores which are round in shape and microscopic. The spores are the reproductive cells that are capable of reproducing the new individuals. The special spores-bearing organs are present in some plants, especially in fungi and algae. The organs bear spores. The spores germinate to develop a new plant. These spores are produced by bacteria, mosses, algae, fungi, and many vascular plants. Now in this diagram, you can see that there is a sporangium. Inside the sporangium, a round ball you can see, and inside the sporangium we have small spores which are microscopic. When the sporangium bursts, these spores will fall on the earth and will move from one place to another place with the help of air, and a new plant is formed which is exactly alike the parent plant. Now next, in second mode of reproduction is sexual reproduction. Now sexual reproduction is different as compared to asexual reproduction, as in asexual reproduction eggs and sperms were not involved, but in sexual reproduction both male and female sex cells are involved, that is eggs and sperms are involved. This mode of reproduction involves the fusion of sex cells, that is sperms from pollen and egg from the ovule. Seeds are produced as a result of this fusion that develops into a new plant. So, which will basically do reproduction? These are the seeds. The seeds are planted in different areas and then the seed will give rise to a new plant. It results in the production of offsprings that are genetically different from the parents, as two different plants are involved in sexual reproduction. One is male and other is female, and characters of both will be mixed. That's why the new plant will be genetically different and have the properties of both the plants, the male plant and the female plant. There are different steps that are involved in sexual reproductions, and they are pollination, fertilization, fruit and seed formation. Okay class, now we will discuss the difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved, as the sex cells are not involved, so we don't need a male or female. Only one single parent is involved in asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, both male and female sex are involved, so both male and female parents are involved. The asexual reproduction mostly occur in lower plants. The lower plants are algae, bacteria and fungi, whereas the sexual reproduction occurs in higher plants, which are the angiosperms and the gymnosperms. In asexual reproduction, reproductive organs are not present, but in sexual reproduction, fully developed reproductive parts are present. Fertilization doesn't take place in asexual reproduction, whereas fertilization takes place in sexual reproduction, which give rise to zygote. When the male sperm and the female egg will fuse with one another, they will form zygote. In asexual reproduction, characteristics of only one parent is inherited, as only one parent is involved in asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, characteristics of both the parents are inherited, as both parent, male and female, both are involved, and character will be inherited from both of them. In asexual reproduction, there is no need of seeds, but in sexual reproduction, seeds are used to get a new plant. This is the end of our today's topic. I hope you got the understanding of this topic, and till then, till tomorrow, Allah Hafiz, take care and revise your today's lesson. Okay class, thank you and Allah Hafiz.